So I saw a headline and it said in 2024, the biggest global threat. No, it's not conflict. It should be. Disinformation. And I read that and I thought, well, how do we know that's true? Could just be a Russian bot, right? I mean, I could be a Russian bot. You don't know if what I'm saying is true. But that's the problem. Like, we don't know if anything is real anymore. And there's all these conspiracy theories. Now, I don't believe in any conspiracy theories. But there's a lot of them. There's like an old one that we didn't really go to the moon. It was just a Stanley Kubrick movie. The guy who directed Jack Nicholson in The Shining, running around with an axe going, "Here's Johnny," and 2001, where the cavemen are like beating the crap out of each other with recycled bones. Supposedly, he directed the moon landing. And it's like, have you seen the moon landing? Like, it's a bunch of guys in these puffy white suits, bouncing up and down in slow motion, planting flags. They're just all happy. I mean, that's not Kubrick. That could be Ron Howard. He was 15 at the time, but I think Opie could have done it. But that was not Kubrick. Then there's the theory that the Earth is flat. The flat earthers. That's another conspiracy theory. And I think they're the ones who started the thing about the moon. Because if you think about it, it makes sense. If you've got astronauts on the moon, like after they were done bouncing in slow motion in their puffy white suits, then they looked up and they were like, oh look, there's Earth. It's round. So you have to dispute that in order to say, no, it's not. It's flat. So that's where that came from. Then you've got the Kennedy assassination, right? And there's so many theories about that. There's one theory that he didn't really die. He faked his death so he could run off with Marilyn Monroe, who he either, depending on who you ask, faked her death or caused her death, in which case he actually is dead. It's confusing, right? All you need to know about the Kennedy assassination is grassy knoll. That's all you have to remember. No one even remembers what a grassy knoll is anymore, but that's all anyone talks about. Like, if you're at a cocktail party and anyone brings up the Kennedy assassination, just go like, oh yeah, grassy knoll. That's it. That's all you gotta say. But it's hard to debunk all these conspiracy theories because you have to prove a negative. Like, if there's some guy and he's like, he thinks the South won the Civil War, you've got to prove that he's not a moron at the same time that he's trying so hard to prove that he is. It's difficult. So, but I don't believe any of these. I don't buy into any of it. But I was on YouTube and I was scrolling around and I saw this thing about simulation theory. Now, ordinarily I want to stop, but I thought it said stimulation theory, and so it caught my eye. But no, it's simulation theory. What this is the idea that we're all living in a giant computer program. It's sort of like Grand Theft Auto, except instead of driving a Lamborghini, for some reason I'm driving a 2008 Toyota Corolla. So whoever wrote this program has a sick sense of humor. But this is a theory, and it's not this red pill, blue pill matrix crap, which I can never even remember which pill is which. Plus, why don't they have a purple pill for the swing voters? That just seems unfair. But the whole thing creates all of these moral and ethical dilemmas. For example, if there's no one around, do I still need to stop at a red light? And should I be playing fewer video games, or should I be playing more video games so I can figure out the program that I'm living inside? I know a lot of gamers would like that theory. So how do we stop it? How do we get out of the program? You ask. I'm glad you asked. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Artificial intelligence. Humans created artificial intelligence because we're not smart enough to get out of the program we're in, but artificial intelligence is. So it's gonna crack the code, it's gonna hack into it, and it's gonna destroy the program. But the question is, then what happens to us? Do we just look up in the sky and see a giant light that says, game over? So anyway, the point is, don't look at any videos about simulation theory. It's just gonna freak you out. But of course, that's exactly what I would tell you if this were a simulation.